We have been searching from ear to ear, struggling in the search of our emancipation. Emancipate your soul and mind. So if we want to see our struggling paid, so when tomorrow come, we don't forget. Stay home, save and enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Emancipation on life. Stay home with your family and have a good time. Emancipate, celebrate, debate. Time to unite. Everybody come and join us in the Raizal Emancipation. Everybody come and join us in the Raizal Emancipation. Me say me want to know be join us in the Raizal Emancipation. People have been you be join us in the Raizal Emancipation.
Yes, this is a conversation about the history that concerns the process of racial emancipation. Welcome to the Racial Emancipation Celebration. This is Adel Christopher and our special guest this evening. We have Roy Newball. Yes, Mr. Roy is an activist and one of the founders of the MNSD group. We have Grayburn Livingston, a racial youth leader with a Magister in Caribbean Studies. Eileen Hooker, young racial business student in the city of Medellin. We have Patricia Bui Pumier, bilingual secretary and a Christian educator, also a woman activist and a founder of the Woman Social Network of the department. Juan Ramirez, community leader, racial activist and promoter of human rights, and Wal Hayes, member of the Racial Authority and human rights activist. Our program for today title is Afro Participation in Politics and Regional Economy. Afro Participation in Politics and Regional Economy. Okay, let's get in matter. Same time, we know that we at all. This question is for Mr. Roy Newball. Do you believe, not me, but you, do you believe we have sufficient participation in the political life of our territory? Do you believe Raizal have sufficient participation in the political life of this territory?
I was just going to ask you to change that word Afro for Raizal, no?
Really?
Because I do believe really is racial participation and not so much Afro. I am kind of a, how I might say, kind of a doubtful and reactive.
Doubtful about what?
About the participation of us, Raizal, in the Colombian political affairs.
Why you say that?
During all the years,
Why do you say that?
during all the years of participation, I will ask the question, what have we get from it as a people? Barring out from maybe, okay, a representative, he gets his salary or she gets her salary, whatever, plus some other things, and maybe they have a few people that they give job or whatever to, and they also get a salary. But I mean, as a people, as a racial people, really, what have we get from that? What benefit it have represents for us? Now, this is my opinion. This is my opinion. I do believe, and I've been saying this for years, that as Raizal people, I believe we will be better off excluding ourselves really from participating in this campaign, in this political campaign, and excluding ourselves in the sense of submitting our names maybe to be representative or to be whatever. And watch and see what will happen. What will happen. Now, this is renewable concept of it. This is renewable concept of it.
Okay, Rai, your answer? Do you believe they are excluding us or we are excluding ourselves?
I said, we should exclude ourselves. Now, of course, it is not so. It's not so because, well, we still are aspiring. People are still aspiring. Raizal people are still aspiring, even though, according to this last campaign, political campaign, we have seen what have happened. What have happened. For many, okay, we need to be there. It might be true. But again, as I said, be there doing what? Just becoming another number? Just being a part of the system?
An instrument.
Or an instrument of the system? Thank you for the word.
From Kana to Kana.
Because that's what we have been. Just an instrument.
From Kana to Kana.
But we haven't derived, we haven't received any, neither in the economical, neither in the social, in no forms at all. As Raizal, we have been benefited from the Colombian political system.
I see this question touch your brother. I see it. Pull on your chest a little bit. Take a deep breath. Mr. Walt, yes, what do you think about this position this man got here?
Well, I would say I would agree in certain circumstances, and I won't say I disagree, but certain things, man, I have some discrepancy around it. But before that, you would have to understand two types of political participation where we Raizal people have been here. If you go back to the whole history from 1912 when they create the Intendencia and then create a Consejo, if you go back in and find out, you will find some Raizal forming part of the political system from that time. They had a council and they had some Raizal in there and some Raizal people coming up through the whole thing. But when you come to be rulers, at the time the system never gave us opportunity to be rulers of the territory because it was appointed by the president. And it's during the whole 100 and odd years where they had the Intendencia from before when the Intendencia was here, you had about 2 or 3 Raizal somewhere around in the 30s around there. And from there coming up, you never see Raizal back there name until late in the 60s around there when then the name back. Some more Raizal start to be named as governor, but when you name as governor or intendant, you was appointed. Maybe we feel that as political gain. Afterward, they opened a space from 1972 and gave us chance to go to give the island, chance to go to the Congress, elect people here in political affairs. But we started electing people that was non-Raizal, And even though up to now we have that privilege, but we end up electing other peoples. Individually, you can say, yes, Raizal individually had managed the way to get into a system and participate in the political system of Colombia. But particularly, but collectively, or as a people, we haven't achieved anything as yet. And why I say we haven't been everything is because it's hard to understand to people to understand. But we have one governor here, but he's a Raizal, born as a Raizal, but elected under a system of participation of others people. Now, the same convention where we defend have a situation in it that we have the right to decide. And voting is right of decide. When you have any amount of people here voting down here into your things, that means that your decision is not too clear. So your right of deciding is not too clear. All right. Up to now, the department have full representation to the Congress. And some kind of way Raizal is in one of the space, but we're coming up all the time with the argument. With all these struggles that we are doing here, the Colombian Congress gonna modify the Constitution and grant us the privilege here to have a representative named or elected by Raizal. That was 2 years ago. But at the moment, we're trying fighting to regulate how this election should be. And this is the moment the state not finished. But constitutionally, we don't have it already. So constitutionally, we don't have a space in the Congress. But we have to regulate the way how we want to elect that person. No, we aspire that person have to be a Raizal elected only by Raizals. So you can say the Raizal collectively have achieved anything. If it's not so, we are just in the bunch of system and we are citizens of this country, even though we are Raizal, because we have to hold something. As a citizen, we have the right to go and vote and elect anybody and the right to participate as a citizen. And I don't know if we can call that an achievement. That can be the Indian, the black man, anyone can go and aspire under that situation. But as a people, or as an ethnic people, we haven't achieved any political distance as yet.
Very sad that situation. But I didn't say Brother Grayburn. Brother Grayburn, I see you writing and writing. We want to know what is your point of view in this question.
Not right because they take note of all the elders and got to know. So basically, I agree totally with these two positions. Within our colonial system, we have colonial, we have participation. We had been an instrument of the same colonial system to colonize us.
Mm-hmm.
Easy as that.
What you call colonizers?
Colonizers use political, economical strategies to keep us down, oppressed, that we suffer, that we nothing can acknowledge what are our rights and how we execute exact them. So they have dominion over the territory. One of the biggest facts we have in the Raizal statute is then the recognition of the territory as Raizal. The government don't want to accept that. So in this sense, I believe we have to pass to creating our own system. But this have two basic challenges. First, the creation, according to a participatory way of seeing this way of autonomy and as executing our right of participation. And secondly, the consciousness of the people. Because people just call upon the Raizal authority when they're in a problem. But they don't see it as a system of self-government where we as people have rights too. Mm-hmm. So now they just see it as a instant, the last instant to call when we're in a problem. But they don't see it as a way of organizing internally ourselves, creating our own self-government, and co-administrate the territory with the colonial government, because sooner or later we have to get in a negotiation with that. But when we create our own self-government, according to what we believe, for we way of seeing life, for we way of seeing participation, we can say we get to a level of autonomy. But right now we're in our system where somehow oppress us, but we continue to use this system And this system they use it as an instrument constantly to continue ruling in our territory. We can have a Raizal governor, we can have a Raizal congresswoman, we can have Raizal in the Congress, in the assembly. But this logic of this system do not is not according to the way we should see participation as Raizal. So we have to create our own self-government system, autonomy, totally.
Thank you, Governor. Patsy, he's speaking about to create our own Raizal participation in the political affairs. How do you see this as a woman?
Well, basically, I agree with what these guys, they are the specialists in this thing, what they have said so far. And as women, I think we need to back them up because it's a reality that until we don't have a self-governed system, even us as women, we have failed in the process because there is no one coming to pay us no attention because they are just there to use us. They are there to see what they can get from us. And they wouldn't even recognize our basic problem that we have here that was intentional, like the overpopulation. And it is intentional because they need to keep on getting the things that they have in mind to get from us and to empower themselves and to belittle us as a people. So as women, we need to back up these guys that have the real and clear ideas and the information required to be self-governed, to be autonomous in our own territory.
We call this autonomy. Okay. But I didn't get ready because do you believe we can get to this autonomy that Patsy is speaking about? But wait,
this is where I say the patriarchal system works. Sorry, me Patsy, but I have to call your attention. You don't have to back up the men then in the process. But they have to empower ourselves or yourself. The woman them have to continue empowering themselves because if you see lately all the marching and protests and getting on and why not that woman they do you know that woman they do it. That woman they lead the process them.
Yeah, but you just said in spite of we push, you take the determination at the end of the day. You said it
You are the woman. The 21st century.
But at the end of the day, who takes the decision? The men.
I'm not criticizing that.
Okay,
the woman should take the decision. So in the 21st century is the century of the woman. Feminism are rising all over the world. Women are taking more power and more opportunity within. You all have to start take the challenge to also organize. And it's showing scientifically that women govern better than men.
Of course. I agree.
You have a challenge.
So Eileen, you believe we can get to this autonomy that all of us speaking about tonight?
Yeah, man. I think we can get to it, but we need to have our objectives clear. We have to know what we want as a group of people, and we have to learn to back up one another because it's very common in our society and in our Raizal community that sometimes everybody wants to be head and everybody wants to lead and everybody wants to direct. So I think we have to come together as one and know what we're going for.
Oh, well, the university did a good job. And tell me, Mr. Juan, I feel like you're worried. You're worried. Like you want to holler. Tell me, Mr. Juan, this autonomy about what we want to get to is possible for the Raizal community? You as an activist, as a fighter, as a leader, as a writer, as an elder.
Everything is possible if you persevere. Nothing try, as many people say, nothing done. This idea of autonomy is not now. Is started more than 100 years about. But many cairns have been in the shoes or stone, maybe because of our own way of doing or thinking or having vision on things. Maybe because of the lack of dispute leadership. But nevertheless, at this precise moment, we are dealing with the Colombian government and many Raizal people know about the bill of autonomies, the right that we have of self-determination according to the mandate, especially the 169 for indigenous and tribal people, and many other sentences from the Constitution giving the ethnic group them or the people them cultural differences that have territory and land the right to decide their priority, in which precisely this morning we had a 4 hours meeting concerning when we are going to retake, or we start to retake, the discussion for autonomy with the Colombian government. Okay, the Colombian government is very, very hard stone to deal with. First of all, my personal concept that they have the same strategy and the same feelings, although it's different generation of them who are there making decisions concerning the autonomous right and home rule or home governance. One of the discussion with them is that the native Raizal people should have the right, and we are demanding the right, that only Raizal people, with the support of the autonomous council, should be the governor of this territory. The next thing is seeking the protection of the land. As you know, today, more than half of the land that Raizal people earn more than 150 years back, other people is living on the land. And the proportion of land, or the portion of land that we have, is approximately 44 or 45%. Who knows how much we have in the ownership of Raizal people. So those two main objectives is that Raizal people stay with the rest of land that we had autonomously, but that the Raizal people rule the land and decide who should live on the land and how the land should be administrated, culturally, politically, environmentally, and territorially. So the autonomous status is possible if all the Raizal people come out and support this thing, because this is the Raizal people, we are on a drifting raft. And if we don't get soothing instrument, tools to protect us entirely, not only the body, but a cultural protection with land and territory and religion and sell ideas and custom and tradition, then we're gone to hell.
No, send me there. We went to commercial.
You understand?
You know what? We went to commercial, so when we come back, we went to commercial.
This is pivotal.
We went to commercial, and we're not going to wait because this getting very hot, but we soon done. But this is a Raizal celebration in the Emancipation Week.
Teleislas is the channel of our identity.
It represents our culture,
Nuestras tradiciones, and our people.
that my channel, that your channel is we channel.
Es mi canal, es tu canal, es nuestro canal. It's my channel, it's your channel, it's our channel.
Yes, we are back with this conversation. History that concerns the process of racial emancipation. Thank you to be there. And let us go right straight on the mat. Mr. Roy, what is your perception about this question?
In the conception of autonomy or self-determination, the United Nations have classified in several, I might call it status or degree, whatever you want to call it. One of the reasons, at the beginning, when I says that I believe really we should abstain really of being a part really of the political system, is because of what I'm going to say. The MNSD is one who is promoting independence from Colombia. As a matter of fact, according to the Colombian Constitution, they are saying that we have autonomy. I mean, as I said, there are different status in this. One of these status is independence, and this is the one, as I said, as Yemen, we are going for. And why we go for this? Because we do believe that until we get to separate ourselves completely from the Colombian state, in the measurement that the Colombian state has the possibility to be deciding and moving, and they are going to continue manipulating us. They are going to continue depriving us from that of our opportunity of being really self-determined, real self-determined. So unless we are completely independent from them, now that's my conception, or the Yemen conception of it, we will ever be manipulated by them.
Thank you, right. Let's go, Graber.
I want to embrace the last moment to finish and make a call out to the young people, to the young youth. They had a leader that named Huey Newton from the Black Panthers. Them used to say that the youth have to inherit the revolution. So it's time now that we start participate and start move on to start somehow participate in these spaces with the LRs them and start really think what we can do with the territory, because to all things when I see in a crisis really. So it's a call out to all the young people them. But we meet, I believe we should have planned a Raizal Youth Congress and start think out and jet out something to see what we should have shown. And don't forget hashtag Raizal Emancipation.
Eileen, thank you, Gerber.
Okay, well, Fien, I want to compliment what my brother right here just said. And I want to encourage all the young people, them, to make we prepare ourselves. Because we have to take over the legacy where we elders them they live. When Mr. Juan and Mr. Watt they start walking, stick no and can't handle themselves, we is who want have to take over. So make we well, all right, all the elders them when they get older, we want to have to take over. So I want to invite you, prepare on yourself and make us stand up to it.
Okay, so thank you, Eileen.
Well, already, Gregor gave me the task. And as women, I want to invite and challenge every woman outside there. Let's work on autonomy for our territory.
One, remember, 59 seconds. You got
60 seconds. First of all, I want to give thanks to the Yemen movement. I was co-founder of the Yemen movement for this invitation, Ms. Corrine also. And I will encourage, as Brother Newell mentioned, that the Yemen movement is fighting for independence. And we can't get too going into different direction. I think we should sit down and discuss seriously concern the status that we're seeking for the native people to dignify their present and their future generation. One of the best things that we mentioned here today is dialogue. So I think we should sit down and discuss the two possibilities, the two roads to reach the goal. And thank you all very much for this invitation.
I give thanks to Amen Movement and the organizer of this panel during this week, and appreciate the words given by our youth, and I will extend also the invitation to the young people, the youngsters, them to, well, you don't have to come and sit down and talk to us, because you all are sometimes hurry. But the time you can take on only 5 or 10 minutes, hopefully you join together and talk, just like how Grayburn and how Eileen is inviting you all. Take on the time, sit down and speak around all these things that you all hear the elders them talking about. And when you all don't understand, find someone to help you. But the key is education, and the key is a struggle. You have to keep on. Some come before we and gone. Is this struggle with Raizal emancipation? It happened nearly 200 years ago, more than 200 years ago, and we are still here repeating almost the same things where 200 years ago our elders they want. So I encourage you all, we have to keep on. This is a long distance, a long struggle, but the young people them is who I go and seek forward for everything that we over here, everybody fight for, is you all have to go up and fight for it, or even you all going to reap whatever, anything we ever accomplish.
How good it is to listen to ourselves, to listen to people, important people like Roy, Grayburn, Eileen, Patsy, Juan, Walt, and to you that are watching this program today. Thank you for being there, and thank you to all of you to participate in this discussion about our history that concerns the process of racial emancipation. We're still inviting you to form part of the concert tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a important concert that is going to be for you in this racial emancipation week. God bless you all, and God bless you also. Bye.